All right, so you just got back from this massive AI and data conference over in Paris. Sounds intense. Hundreds of companies, all the latest tech. I bet you needed a bigger suitcase just for business cards. What was your overall first impression walking into that kind of whirlwind?
It really was kind of a whirlwind, yeah. You go to these things, right, expecting to see the same big players, the usual suspects, you know?
Right, right.
But honestly, I was blown away by the sheer diversity of companies there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, we're talking everything from like agriculture and healthcare to, or, you know, the more typical tech sectors. It really seems like AI is, well, it's infiltrating every industry imaginable at this point.
Wow. Okay, so AI-powered tractors and robotic surgeons. Not exactly your typical tech conference lineup.
Right.
It really makes you think about just how much the field is expanding. It's like everyone and their dog is trying to find the next big thing in AI.
Yeah.
You mentioned before we started recording that you were hoping to see some practical applications of all this. I mean, did these unexpected industries deliver?
They absolutely did. For example, one company I saw, they were using AI to analyze satellite imagery for early detection of crop diseases.
Whoa.
Yeah. And then another one had developed this surgical robot that, get this, assists with these incredibly delicate procedures. And we're not just talking like pie in the sky ideas here. These were concrete solutions actually being implemented right now.
Okay, now those are the nuggets I love to hear about.
Yeah.
It's easy to get lost in all the hype at these conferences,
Yeah.
But those real-world applications, that's where things get really exciting.
Yeah, for sure.
Speaking of getting lost, your notes mention a lot of companies basically building on top of existing large language models. Those LLMs, the brains behind ChatGPT and everything. Did you notice anything, I don't know, unique about their approaches? Was it all just more of the same?
It's true. There was a lot of building on existing LLMs, which, I mean, it makes sense, right? It's efficient. You get access to these pre-trained models, which reduces development time. It's kind of like using a pre-baked pizza crust instead of, making your own dough from scratch.
Okay, I like that analogy.
But having said that, some companies really did stand out. There was this one that was using LLMs to create these truly personalized education plans for students based on their individual learning styles. That kind of creative application, I mean, that's what really catches my eye.
Yeah, I get it. So instead of just adding toppings, they're creating a whole new pizza experience.
Yeah.
You also mentioned some smaller demos in your notes. Were there any hidden gems in those booths that, maybe took you by surprise?
Definitely. There was one, it was a demo by a smaller company. They were using AI to analyze, get this, audio recordings for early signs of Alzheimer's. Now, it's still early stage, but the potential impact on early diagnosis and treatment is, well, it could be huge.
Oh, that's incredible. It is, like you said, it's easy to get caught up in the big names and the flashy presentations, but these smaller companies can really be the ones pushing the boundaries, right?
Absolutely.
Speaking of big names, it's interesting that some key players were actually missing from the conference this year. You mentioned OpenAI, Mistral, even Facebook. No sign of those giants.
Yeah, their absence was definitely noticeable. It really makes you wonder. I mean, could this mean they're focusing on their own events now?
Yeah.
Or maybe concentrating on more, I don't know, specialized research?
It's almost more intriguing to think about what they aren't showing than what everyone else is.
Exactly.
It's like they're off building the next generation of pizza ovens while everyone else is perfecting their pepperoni placement. Okay, before we wrap up, let's talk about Connexio, that talk you mentioned that really resonated with you. What sparked your interest there?
Oh, man. Connexio is doing some truly amazing work. They're using technology to, bridge the digital skills gap. Providing training and resources to underprivileged communities, giving them the tools to participate in the digital economy.
Wow.
And, this aligns perfectly with what you were saying earlier about wanting to use your skills for social impact.
Yeah, absolutely. It does sound like a fantastic match, actually. Their mission combined with your expertise. I mean, that could create something truly impactful. Okay, so we've got AI in everything from farming to healthcare, creative uses of LLMs, potential breakthroughs in Alzheimer's detection. Talk about information overload. If you had to pick just one thing, what would you say is your biggest takeaway from this deep dive into the Paris conference?
For me, it's the sheer breadth of AI applications out there now and the incredible pace of innovation. It's not just about tech companies anymore. It's impacting every single facet of our lives in ways we probably don't even realize yet.
That's a great point.
And I guess the key takeaway for anyone listening, for you, is to stay curious. Keep exploring these emerging trends because you never know where they might lead or how they might apply to your own life and work.
I like that. Stay curious.
And who knows? Maybe you'll even discover a way to leverage your own skills and passions to make a real difference in this rapidly evolving landscape.
Food for thought.